Our teacher occupation apprenticeship program, the first in the nation, provides an innovative no cost pathway to allow more people to enter this rewarding profession to lead the next generation of Tennessee teachers. But a persona is a representation of a type of user or a type of learner that is based on data. Personas help provide valuable insight into the target audience that you're working with and allows us for a deep understanding of their needs. When we create personas, it allows us to first empathize with the user to help us really understand the needs or the barriers that they might be facing. So we collect that data and use the results from this persona work to help make changes at our EPPs or with our districts. Oftentimes, traditional teacher preparation programs don't always serve this working learner population well. And that could be for different reasons. Maybe coursework is scheduled during the working learner, the apprentice's work time, or student teaching really is a conflict with working full time. And we collected data from over 1,163 interested candidates. And from that data and the evaluation of that, we were able to pull several key themes. 53% of our aspiring apprentices in Tennessee do not have their bachelor's degree. 70% of aspiring apprentices have some undergraduate credit and still are interested in becoming teachers. Over 80% are what we classify as adult learners, so greater than 25 years of age. And every single aspiring apprentice that filled out our interest survey responded the need to work full time was critical while also earning their college credit. This data led to the development of 3 key personas for our Tennessee Grow Your Own Center persona work group. This is the process we use to create our personas at the Grow Your Own Center. The first thing to think about are working groups.
One of the lessons that we learned was to create the work groups on the front end so that all stakeholders have a voice in gathering that data and creating those personas. We have found that that's really important, especially for our EPPs, to think through target populations that they may not currently be serving with traditional programming.
Who are the stakeholders who are really critical to this work that need to come together to establish the personas that your working group will work with? The second part is to gather that data. So the work groups, again, personas are data driven. So what are the multiple data sources that the work groups are using to collect the information to design those personas? So who is their apprenticeship really designed to serve, and basing that on the needs and the data in your area. Work groups come together, and that's when they create those personas. So they analyze the data and look for those themes and what are the key takeaways for the development of a couple of personas. Again, really empathizing with those users to really understand what the barriers are that they face in obtaining licensure and other barriers that might get in their way. The goal is to brainstorm the solution. So what's the consensus? On yes, that we understand our users, and we also all understand that there is a need in place for them to have a better experience. So what are solutions that we could begin to work on to make their experience better?
The process of creating those personas is really to have a representation of the type of user or learners that is data driven. And so you want an insight into that target audience to help your stakeholders build empathy, right? To think about those candidates who really would like to be licensed teachers, but maybe there are barriers, stopping them from gaining that licensure. These personas are really designed to help guide those design decisions, those programmatic decisions. What can we do from a district level? What can we do from an EPP standpoint or from a state standpoint to help remove those barriers? You can't just really take a traditional program and make it fit into an apprenticeship program, right? Those are 2 different approaches. Those candidates are still earning licensure. Those candidates are still taking, rigorous coursework. They're still earning their teacher license, but they also have that added benefit of being employed in a school district.
Brainstorming the solutions, having all of those different perspectives and voices was really critical on this piece, because we're not all well versed in each of these
Yeah.
areas. We know really our silo really well, but to hear their perspective from the instructor who's maybe working with the curriculum and they don't have the whole picture of the infrastructure. And so what you really realize is it's going to take everyone, agreeing this is the goal we're working towards, and these are the challenges and proposed solutions to meeting that goal. It was really helpful to have kind of everyone sharing, if this is the problem, this is where it could be addressed within each of these areas. I don't think one perspective could go at it in the way that collaborative group could.